Final Fantasy IX Remake. Is it happening? Is it not happening? Or am I just coping too hard? We're going to talk about all of that in today's video. So with that all being said, what is up guys? Jen here. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to the channel. As always, got you covered with timestamps. So if you want to skip to a certain section of the video, feel free to do so. All I ask is for you to like the video by hitting the like button. And if you want to stick around for some more Final Fantasy content, then please consider hitting that subscribe button. But before we go any further, here is a word from today's video sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by FlexiSpot. My old desk was getting on just a little bit, and that's when the folks at FlexiSpot offered the E7 Pro desk, and I have not looked back since. It has an adjustable height feature, which has been incredible. I can go from sitting to standing in an instant, and this has been ideal when it comes to my posture, and I'm not feeling sluggish during my long hours of video recording and editing. Not only that, but this desk is sturdy, and combined with its sleek modern design, it makes a stylish addition to my workspace and upgrades the whole aesthetic. Now, when it came to choosing my desk, I had the choice. I was able to select the perfect size and color to match my workspace feel, and it just felt like this was made for me. It was really easy to put together, and it even comes with a USB charger because we're always looking for that extra slot. So if you're ready to upgrade your workspace and experience the benefits of the E7 Pro desk, I highly recommend it. It's not just a desk, it is a game changer. Check out the links down below to take your productivity to the next level. And now let's get back to the video. So let's dive straight into Final Fantasy IX Remake. I've covered it many times on the channel. You'll find them in the description down below. And I'm someone that is hopeful, and I really, truly think it is going to happen. Now, let's get back to the facts before we get into the cope and into just unnecessary hype, I guess. We only know that this exists because of the Nvidia leak, and many games on that list have come to fruition, bar a few, including another Final Fantasy in Final Fantasy Tactics Remake / Remaster. Also, we had an Epic Games database leak. It had a pre-order for a certain game that had a code name, and you had a Tetra Master Pack along with some daggers. There's only one game I can think of that has a game within its game called Tetra Master, and that's Final Fantasy IX Remake. So that is enough for me to have the basis that it does exist and it is happening. But there has been so many freaking things that have happened since then to sway so many people in so many different directions. So you've got to let me know where you are. What boat are you on when it comes to Final Fantasy IX Remake? Like I said, I think it's happening, and I think it's happening next year in time of the celebration of its 25th anniversary. So I want to address the latest news that we got, which was from Yoshi P back a couple of weeks ago, where he had been talking about Final Fantasy IX Remake and if it was going to happen. If you wanted to know what motion I was doing, I was saying that I was doing the good old inverted commas motion, that Final Fantasy IX Remake is massive, and he could only see it being a multi-part game. Now, I love Yoshi P. I'm a big fan of Final Fantasy 14, and I absolutely loved Final Fantasy 16, but I also know Yoshi P is a man of the people. He is very good when it comes to just letting things out there, letting things, again, inverted commas, intentionally slip here and there to kind of keep people guessing. I think he is a master of this, and yes, maybe it's a little bit of cope, but I think this is just a distraction to what's really going on. I think that Yoshi P knows fully well that Final Fantasy IX Remake is happening to a certain capacity, and he's just keeping the conversation going, or at least trying to shut it down in a subtle way. Now, addressing the fact that he thinks it would be a multi-part game, I disagree with this statement because, yes, If this was to be on par with the Final Fantasy VII Remake project, then maybe so. But I think Final Fantasy IX is something special, and I think it needs to be close to its source material as possible, with a few additions here and there just to enhance the narrative, the gameplay, and everything else in between. There are many games that have come out as recently as Romancing Saga 2. We had Visions of Mana, we've had the Trials of Mana remake. I think this is going to be more akin to the style of what a Final Fantasy IX remake can and should be. Yes, we really want it to look like a AAA game because it is a Final Fantasy worth a real good treatment, but I've had a feeling recently playing some of these games like Visions of Mana and Romancing Saga 2 that this is probably the best niche for Final Fantasy IX. Romancing Saga 2 has got a lot of positive reception from both veteran players and new players myself because of the way it had been true to its original source material while adding new stuff and gameplay adjustments for new players. I really think as of late this is where Square has been at its strongest, and as the ball's been rolling, more people have been interested in these games, and I think if Final Fantasy IX follows trait, we can have a remake that can be contained in one game. And I'm looking all the way back to the PS3 generation at a certain game called Ni no Kuni. Adopt that kind of style. It had a world map, we could fly around the world map, we were on a ship, there was secrets to find. It was a massive game and it was on one disc. Trials of Mana, it was on one disc and it is a massive game. It can be done, and I think I am done with trying to forward my point of why I think the remake is going to be one game. So again, let me know in the comments section below. Let's retread some old ground now when it comes to Final Fantasy IX Remake on what I want, what I hope, and what I'm probably coping as well with. And that is, it's going to be true to form. Like I've said throughout the video, it's going to be turn-based. They're probably going to adjust a few things here and there to make it accessible. Maybe a faster battle speed. Pick up a few things from the most popular turn-based RPGs we've got. The Persona series, Shin Megami Tensei, the Trails series. Weave some of these very popular turn-based games, take from them, borrow from them, and add it to one of the best turn-based games of the early 2000s. Not only that, they already have a repertoire of games that they have turn-based that work really well. Octopath Traveler, Bravely Default. They have the teams that know their stuff. They have all the ingredients here, and I'm sure this is what we are going to see. Is there anything that I would like additionally? Probably, yeah. Extra scenarios, maybe brush up on a few more of the story characters, dive back into those production papers and see what original scripts for characters were. Give us some more Beatrix, give us some more Freya, give us some more Sir Bradley, and give us some more of the Tantalus boys. And that is just scratching the surface with some of the things we want. Maybe establish Necron as probably a bit more of a meaningful endgame boss, drop seeds throughout the game. Also, there's the anime. I'm moving on so fast, but the anime is a perfect chance. We know it exists, it's been announced. We know it's there in the works, and it's probably going to be accompanying this. They're probably going for a little bit of a strategy that they did with Final Fantasy 15, because that worked really well for Square leading up to the release of Final Fantasy 15. Give us a prequel anime, give us some character arcs of Freya, of Zidane, of Garnet before the events of Final Fantasy 9, and really flush out the story. Get the veteran players like myself when it comes to Final Fantasy 9 involved with some new content, and also it is a great way to introduce the cast to new players ready for that remake. I get so excited when I'm talking about this, and it probably does sound like a little bit of cope and hope from me, but I'm just spreading that positive energy, and I just want to create the conversation when it comes to Final Fantasy 9 Remake. There are so many other things I could retread that we've spoken about before. I truly think that we're going to hear something by the end of this year. The facts that I have on the table, not very many. I just know that Square Enix does not have a big roadmap for 2025 so far. All we really have is Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake, and a possible announcement somewhere along 2025 of Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3. So they need to start filling in the gaps. I'm sure we'll hear something before April for maybe some of their titles, but the perfect time would be the Game Awards to kind of get a ball rolling with a Square Enix property, whether it is a new IP, whether it is a Final Fantasy, whether it's an existing IP, or whether, I think personally, Final Fantasy IX Remake. But I am just going off a lot of hope, a lot of cope, and a lot of excitement. But I reiterate the fact, I believe that we are going to be seeing and hearing about it soon, and it could kick off at the end of 2024, and we get that ball rolling to around, I don't know, the third quarter of next year. But I could be wrong, and I'm sure you guys will let me know. But I appreciate your time for today's video. It has always been a pleasure talking about Final Fantasy IX Remake, but I'm more interested to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side.